Hi, I'm Ann, and my husband Wade is behind the camera, and this is How We Van. And today we are going to talk to Wade's mother and my second mother, Kathy, who happens to own a Winnebago Roam on a Dodge ProMaster chassis. This is a 2022 Winnebago on a 2021 chassis. And Kathy has been so nice and so willing to do this for us. What we're going to do today is we're hoping to kind of launch into doing some van grades where we talk to owners of other Class B vehicles, Class B RVs, and get their feedback on it. What do they like? What don't they like? Get a quick tour and talk to them about how they grade certain aspects from reliability to curb appeal to functionality and their overall impressions. And if you, by any chance, have a Class B RV that you would like us to talk to you about and you to give grades to, please email us at wadeandann@howwevan.com. All right, should we get started? Why don't we go ahead and get started with Kathy? Kathy, are you ready?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I am.
She is very excited to do
ready
this.
as I will ever be.
All right.
Yeah.
So I have my cheat sheet as always, everybody. So Kathy, again,
Yes.
thank you so much for doing this for us.
Oh, you're so welcome, but you will pay.
You'll
pay for this.
I am sure of that. All right. When did you make your purchase of this Winnebago Roam?
Actually, my sons found it for us and initiated the purchase, and it was not quite a year ago.
About a year ago, so in 2022.
Yes.
And what kind of led to the decision? I know your sons purchased it, or made the acquisition, if you will.
Well, they were talking to my husband, who has sort of early onset Parkinson's, and they thought we needed to be a little more mobile to be able to easily get from one place to another, especially our grandson and granddaughters, different activities at school, some of which start very early in the morning and some that go till late in the afternoon. And we needed a place of comfort for my husband to be. And also it's wonderful because our particular van has a oversized bathroom, which is a wonderful thing, especially having just gone through COVID where you couldn't even get to a bathroom if you wanted to. And so we haven't used it so much for that, but the knowing that you can is a great relief. It just makes everything a little bit more simple, you're a little bit more adventurous, I think, or at least we have been able to be.
So having a van that is more accessible, that is maybe bigger in terms of spacious, in terms of walking around, getting around, movability.
Yes.
And then, of course, as you like to say, a porta potty on wheels.
It is our porta potty on wheels. It takes the not knowing of where you're going to possibly be able to stop if you need to in an emergency or whatever. It's with us. So that was a big plus for me, for my husband.
Awesome.
But so, yeah, that was a main consideration. And like I say, also having a place where he could lie down or rest if he got tired or bored or whatever and just needed a place of his own sort of to go and regroup or whatever.
And plus you could come in and rest or get away from things too.
Yes, either of us or all of us. And it is also, we went to one activity of my grandsons and as you know, you guys were there and you had some friends come and we sort of had our first little van party. And we had
that was fun.
Popcorn and nuts. I mean, it was an impromptu kind of a thing, but it was very fun and it was nice. It was
it worked out great. To host extra people in here is much easier than hosting people in our little 19-foot garage.
Well, we are a little bit wider. We have more interior space because it needs to have enough space through the center for a wheelchair to go back from the seats in the front to the bed in the back or the couch in the back. So that was very nice.
Awesome. Have you ever owned an RV or a camper van before?
No. When we used to do camping, it was camping. We set up our own tents and stuff. It was not, we used to laugh and say my husband's idea of camping as the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, but he's not a camper.
It's true.
But this is having his own space. He doesn't have to set up anything. He doesn't have to do anything. And it has so far answered whatever needs we have. Now, we have not slept in it yet.
But you're ready to.
But we could. We could. It's the back couch opens up to a bed. I think it's a standard size. It's bigger than a twin. So I think it's a standard size bed. But he's quite tall, so he would have to sleep at an angle. So we did buy, at your suggestions, an inflatable bed that is made specifically to go in the cab. And I haven't used it in the van, but I did set up in the living room, which it was very easy to do. And it was easy to deflate and roll up and store back in. And I have it stored, looks like a sleeping bag, and it's in there, which we also did get sleeping bags to make it easier to make the bed in the back, since I would have to do it by myself. So we could just lay down and we just put a sleeping bag on the bottom and a sleeping bag over him. So that seemed, hopefully, that will work if it's needed.
So my next question was going to be, what do you use the van for and who do you travel with? And I think we've already answered that question, that you travel primarily with your husband, my second father, and you're using it primarily to, you're using it really right now as a daily driver. Plus,
I
do. But you got it for going to sporting events of your grandchildren and your nephews, as well as just to kind of get around from point A to point B to travel.
Right, and it's not sporting vans that are local. It's sporting vans where we have to drive a considerable distance and then have a place once we get there. And because of traffic in California, it takes much longer than you think it's going to. And this way we can leave earlier in the morning and get there, and he can rest if he needs to, or I can take a nap or whatever.
A place that's comfortable.
And we can fix food if we needed to.
Awesome.
That's an easy.
Awesome. So how about this? How about we do a quick tour? Actually, let me ask. Mm-hmm. Do you mind giving us a quick tour?
Well, it'd be really quick because these vans are not real big.
Giving us a quick tour of your Winnebago Roam. And then while you're doing the tour, maybe you can highlight things that you really like or things that maybe you don't like as much. But don't worry about it. Just do what you do.
Okay. So we don't have the lift up, but it's automatic, and it comes straight out and then down. Then you can wheel a wheelchair if you need to, or if you were loading stuff, if you wanted to schlep your grandchildren's college stuff back to their dorm, you could put on that, lift it, and slide it right in. So that's
handy.
That's nice. I don't do it all the time, and we haven't really had to use the lift, though we could. So I'm going to go up this way because this is just, and I have short legs, so that was an easy.
Maybe just highlight what you like about the drivability of the Roam.
Oh, the van is really simple to drive. I use it for everything now. I go to, except for drive-throughs. You can't go through drive-throughs because it's too tall. You'll knock it off. So you have to park. That's probably my only thing I'm really not crazy about.
It's a fine tip.
But the van is easy, and I love the visibility. You sit up so high, and it's really, really nice, and it's very easy. I had a Ford truck, a large truck with the extended cab, and I actually find this easier to drive than that truck, which surprised me. So,
and how about
for
parking?
What it's worth. Oh, parking is really fun, except for parallel. I don't do that yet. Unless you can be on the end where you can pull right in and you don't have anything, because I haven't mastered that. But at grocery stores, I do all my errands and stuff, and you just pull right in. Okay, so it's very simple to drive.
All right.
To the grocery store or just on regular errands. It's very simple. And I used to park way far away because I didn't want to be a bother to anybody, and now I sort of don't care. So I park right over because it doesn't take up any more space than anybody else's truck. Okay, well, so the cab of the van is probably pretty much like the front of any truck, except that the seats do swivel around, so you could transport somebody, or whatever it is word, that from a wheelchair to the front seat. So, okay, up above here is just storage for your windshield protectors or all of that kind of stuff. You could use it for anything you want. I think I have the little shelf that hangs here, which I don't use because it rattles.
We don't like the rattles, do we?
We work really hard not to rattle. This has a curtain that closes across for if you were camping to have more privacy. Let me see. This is kind of nice. That little bag there is the inflatable bed. So it's really quite small and easy to tuck over there.
That's great. It's a great spot for it.
And then, of course, I hang all the manuals and stuff because in case I have to refer to them.
A Luno air mattress, and we do have a video on How We Van that you can see our review of the Luno air mattress.
Okay. This is just where I keep kitchen things. I've got we don't have burners in this one. So I have is it conduction? Induction. Well,
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Yeah, the induction.
It's one of the induction things. And it just plugs in down here. So I have my own burners. And then I have a microwave and a sink. And this my daughter-in-law gave me.
I love it.
It's her favorite thing. It's for your soap.
How does it stay?
And it stays. It sticks on really well. I have a little refrigerator and freezer. I'm not sure if I have anything in here for drinks. It's not large, but it has a little ice thing, and it does, and it works. So that's convenient. This has a little pull-out cutting board, which I don't use. I just get a regular cutting board.
But you could use it as an extra counter.
I could, I guess, for little tiny things. If you had a little tea party for your grandchildren when they were little, that would work. We have as you can see, the space is wider, so we don't have the extra burners and the things that your van has, or I guess other vans have. But we like I think I would get this even if it wasn't our personal health situation, because I like the wider space in it.
Yeah. It is nice. I mean, look,
but
we're standing shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, and
can't do that in mine.
We could walk down, and you can wheel a chair down, which is the purpose for it being wider. Also, since my husband is a tall man, our bathroom is larger. Now, I don't know specifically what the measurements are that make it different.
It is bigger.
But
how large is? I mean, how tall is he?
He is about 6'3", I think.
Yeah,
now.
He's tall.
So
and he fits.
He does.
I mean, not with maybe the bar in there, but
well, he hunches over. Yeah. Okay. So, and it's very easy. Again, the bathroom situation.
So this is a cassette toilet.
It is. It is.
And how do you like the cassette toilet? Because it's different. You don't have a black tank per se where you have to dump it with a hose.
Okay. Well, I'm not familiar with an alternative.
Okay. So how do you like this?
But I cannot imagine this being easier than it is. There's a little. It's like a little suitcase. It looks like a little carry-on luggage, which I don't recommend it for that purpose. But
okay.
You just click a thing. It opens up. You pull it out. I wheel it into the bathroom, empty it out, which is easy to do because you use these little pods that sort of dissolves everything. So all you have is a liquid that you're pouring into the toilet. You swish it out and you put it back in. It is super simple.
Nice. Nice. I'm glad you like it.
Which was a concern of mine. I thought, oh my God, I'm going to have to go to one of those dump sites and all of that kind of stuff. Well, you don't, or I don't.
You know, you can use a public toilet to dump it.
You could use anywhere.
Your house.
We don't use them for long drives or long trips, so we just go and then we come home and then I.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
So that's very simple.
And you know what? The other thing I like about the bathroom are the handlebars. So there's several.
Again, we're wheelchair accessible or handicap van, so it's got all those things, which is really nice. So but it's and it closes up and it's got a little bar in there, so like when we've traveled a little bit, you can hang things on there.
That's nice.
Which is nice, jackets or whatever. It keeps it sort of out of the way. Over here is the stuff I have not a lot of knowledge about, but
it's okay.
I've been told just you push this button and you push this button and you do this, and you have to use a hotspot or something for your television, which I have not really mastered.
To get the internet.
I've not mastered yet. Look what I just see. This is kind of loose. This needs to be glued back on or something. There, that'll look better in your picture. But the lift is remote controlled, so you can use a remote control, or you can use this little guy, which really is going to be great. I keep bungee cords in here because if we travel, I tuck my suitcases back here and I bungee them to it so that they don't roll around. That's been really easy.
That's because typically if you're using it, you haven't stayed in it yet. So you've been going into hotels or into family and friends' houses and things like that. Yes. So you travel with suitcases. So that makes perfect sense.
Right.
And then we have go ahead.
Well, this actually is a step for outside of the van, but I am not real tall. So when I sit in the back, I like putting my feet on it. You're not going to want
So
this because it's
the step gives you makes you feel like you have long legs.
well, it makes me it makes me feel grounded. You know,
You
I'm
don't
not
like
just
the legs.
dangling, and
Yeah,
it's got seat belts, so you can sit an extra 2 people back here,
that's nice.
which is nice. But if you do that, you really want I want my legs up to
Yeah.
take care of it. So I have plenty of storage for what we need, which is mostly kitchen supplies and things like that.
And then this is a couch most
This
of the
couch,
time.
and it's electrically push a button, and it pulls out to fill this space and makes a bed. And then I keep a couple of sleeping bags, like I was saying here, which is out of the way. They don't rattle. And
That's great.
so that it would be easy to make up a bed if we wanted to, or if we needed to, or covers or whatever. So
And the game plan is that when you guys do use it, if you had to use it for an overnight, is that Rich, being 6'3", would sleep on the bed, but he'd sleep diagonally.
yeah, he would have to sleep at an angle, which he tends to take up a lot of the bed anyway, whatever size it is. So I have my own little one up there, which I say I haven't used, but I've slept in sleeping bags many times, and so it fits that, and seems like it would work well. So, oh, did I mention the microwave? We have a microwave here.
Great.
And drawers that are nice, and I found just little stuff to make it like a double decker.
That's cute.
I just cut this up and stuck it in there, so I've got knives and
perfect
and stuff, and then I just
all
and
right.
It seems to work.
Is there anything about the van that you're not crazy about?
Well, I don't have anything to compare it to. This is my first van, but so far I think it satisfies all our needs. It's so easy to drive and park. That was a very big concern of mine. I don't have any trouble going on the freeway. I don't feel like I'm in this massive thing. It's easy to change lanes. I find that the drivability of it is really good.
Is there anything about this purchase that you would, if you could go back in time, that you would change?
I'd have somebody else pay for it.
I like it. I like it. No,
How's that?
Wouldn't we all? Wouldn't we all? Now, how about I ask you to grade your van on certain attributes, and you can go from A to F, just like we used to do when we were in high school and grade school. Pluses and minuses are okay if you need to hedge a little bit. And here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Reliability.
So far, I've not had a problem. It's been I don't know. What do you get? You hate giving something perfect. So A minus.
A minus. I like it.
I mean, I have not had any trouble with it.
That's great. Ease of use.
Ease of use, a whole lot better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be really hard. I would have, before having it, given it an F. But again, it's very easy for me to get around in. So I don't know. I'm going to go A minus again.
Okay.
Do I mean, it might be nice if the switches
were labeled.
Like you have a bunch of switches like down here. Okay. So what are they for? It doesn't tell me. And over here it doesn't. So, but after you learn it, you learn it. So
exactly.
it's not a necessarily a negative. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, and it makes it cleaner than having a bunch of stuff written all over.
That's
I guess.
True. That's true. All right. Next, style or curb appeal.
It's sort of like driving a big black and white whale. So I call it Orca. But I really like the looks of it, and I've gotten a lot of compliments. That's a really cool van, or when I've driven it places.
Nice.
So
great.
I go, oh geez, I don't know. This is why I did not become a teacher. I do not like grading. I don't know how it would be better, so I'm going to do an A minus again.
All right. Sounds good.
I'm an easy grader, but I don't know.
Another one that you don't have any experience on, but I'm going to ask it again, so we're all consistent here. Sleeping comfort. Maybe we can ask it in a way of, how do you envision the sleeping comfort?
I think it would probably be, well, I don't imagine, other than taking an occasional nap or something, that we will be using it for sleeping in. Again, it's to get us more from one place to another place and have some comfort while we stay there, if it's for a few hours or something. But again, not being married to a camper, I would think we would pull into a very nice
Hotel.
hotel
I would think
and
that's,
stay there.
and I think
So,
that's how
which
you
is
would do it as
also
well.
nice because you can park them there. I can
That's true.
just park it in whatever regular spot I would have had I had a car. So that's,
As long as it's not a garage.
well, yeah. Oh, yes. You have to have sort of outdoor parking or facilities that have planned for
Yes.
travel vehicles, vans, and
Yes.
the stuff. But
All right.
otherwise, you do. You cut, and so in that way, you check ahead. But most places, as you know, and how since you have told me, have close camping sites or places to, I don't know what they're called, facilities
Oversized
for parking,
oversized
oversized
vehicles.
places, or parking, and then you just take a car or
Yes.
Uber or whatever it is from one place to another to get to the smaller places.
Okay. So if you had to give it a grade
Oh, jeez.
on the sleeping comfort, how you would imagine it being.
Fabulous is all I know.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Certainly better than sleeping on the ground in a campsite. I mean,
need a grade.
under a oh, geez. Okay. I haven't tried it yet, so I'm gonna go probably a B plus.
Okay.
B, maybe B.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't tried it.
Right. How about for storage space so far? How have you been finding it?
Well, it holds more. I've got a couple of these are empty of ours, and I have them filled with bedding, pillows, all the cooking supplies, knives, forks, electrical stuff, extra toilet paper and paper towels, paper goods. So I have a lot of stuff and I have a lot of storage space. So for us, but not camping,
But
it's,
how would you give it for you, for your purposes?
oh,
How
for
would you
us,
give it?
it's a A minus.
Excellent.
I'm only going those, I'm not going higher than that.
Excellent. For drivability.
I think it's super simple. I really was envisioning this, feeling this big, massive thing, as you know,
I know.
and as you know, but it's truly it's very easy to get around. It's not, the turning radius is easy too. It's not big like I thought you'd have to really swing out, but I guess I'm not an 18 wheeler. So those you watch swing way out, and I thought, oh my god, I'm going to be something like that, but you aren't. It's just like a large SUV, I guess, or a truck.
Now,
It's easier than my truck was.
And one thing you've mentioned about the drivability before is you have an electronic is it called an electronic mirror? Where it's a video mirror?
Yes.
That it makes it easy to see what's behind you.
You can. That is an interesting thing. That's something to keep. You cannot tell. You have sort of a blind spot between the end of your van and, I would say, about a car's length. So if somebody pulls up close to you, you have to be a little more careful. I mean, to watch that, you've got to keep in mind that somebody could be closer to you than you think they are. So that I've noticed. Now, and I think, oh my god, I could back into somebody, but probably not, because you would turn in reverse, then the mirror would show up, and I think it would show. I haven't. It's still really close, though. You really don't see it, I guess, because you're high, and so cars are lower. So that's the only obstacle or the only problem that I've noticed driving, and that is you really don't know how close somebody is behind you.
And that could be an issue. So what would you give it for drivability? What grade?
Geez. I would give that an A minus plus.
All right. I like it.
Because it's really, and that was something that was very much concern to me, the driving it.
I know. And you like it.
Yeah.
It's easy for you.
I thought I was going to have to put a little coin changer on my hip and wear a little hat because it was going to be driving this great big bus, but it doesn't feel that way when you're in it.
That's awesome. And lastly, overall comfort.
For driving?
For just overall comfort.
Okay, I would say it is better than expected. Driving is really comfortable. That's easy for me. The seats are very adjustable. One thing I would do, if they could, is I would get the seats electric, because they are not. They're manual, and that's a little bit difficult, especially for my husband to move. Yep. I can set mine and I'm done.
Yep.
But if somebody else needs to drive the car, it's all manual. None of it is electric. So that would be that would be a change, and that probably would be a bigger consideration if I were buying it. We have adjusted, but if I were buying new, that's something I would request.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if it can be something added aftermarket or not. I don't know. Oh, this just came as it was. We didn't have any upgrades or do anything to it. So that's a plus, I think. We didn't have to do any aftermarket features of adding a lift. So that would be.
Yeah, this came
It
as
came
is,
as is.
and you haven't modified it yet. You
No.
haven't added
No.
any
No, and
gizmos.
I don't know what I would do. I'd have a bulletin board somewhere. Some magnet. Oh, I would have something magnetic so you can put pictures or whatever
Oh,
on.
you
Yeah,
did
they're
it.
taped. We have them taped. But I would put something. It's always not for if you were a magnet collector or something
Yes.
like that. There's no place to put
Yes.
any of.
We don't either in
Everything
ours.
is.
It's
Yeah.
really weird.
Yeah.
It's really weird. So for overall comfort, considering the cab, considering your house, overall comfort, great.
Well, like I say, it suited our needs. I would give it an A minus, I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of consistent on that, aren't I?
I think if we had to do overall grade, if I had to do an average, I would give this Winnebago Roam an A minus.
I think so, probably. But again, keep in mind, I have nothing to compare it to. So this is the best I've ever had.
This is awesome. This is awesome.
The best RV, it's an RV, that I have ever had. But I would also say that I probably would purchase it again. And I don't know that I would even look around to find anything else because it suits our needs.
I was just going to ask, after a year of ownership, how well do you think it suits your needs?
I already answered you.
I know but I have to go through the questions.
Oh, just great. I would say it's been way better than I expected, and a lot easier to take care of for me.
That's awesome.
Even getting gas, which I know a lot of people think that's a hassle. You know, getting gas, it's easy. It's the same as if you have a car. You just have to remember that you might be a little bit bigger.
Well, my last question was going to be, have you done any modifications or upgrades to your van? And you've already answered that.
I did.
Being no, you have not.
No, we have not.
My next question, my follow-up question would be, are you considering any upgrades or modifications to your vehicle?
No, not at this time. I can't think of anything that
you need.
That we need.
That's awesome.
You know, other than.
All right. Well,
you know what I might have done? I might have had, like, your van opens up wider. You have a bed.
Yes.
That it's bigger. Now, I would have liked to have had just a bed that you just do instead of having to inflate and deflate. But in so doing, I would have lost space, movability, and stuff, and we needed that. So, no, I guess I would be happy with this.
Or you could have gotten a larger vehicle.
Oh, no, I could not. No.
And then the bed would have been bigger.
Yeah, no. This is as big as I want, because then I lose the parking.
Yeah.
I lose the ease of getting it from one place and storing it one place or another.
That is one of the top reasons why you bought it.
Which is another thing about it, is that I can park it in my driveway. I can leave it in my driveway. I do not have to have a storage space, because it doesn't take up any more space than the man across the street's extended pickup truck. So that's convenient. That's a plus.
Very convenient.
Because a lot of people don't have extra space. You know, if you can park 2 cars, you can park this. So
that's great. That's great. Well, I wanted to thank you.
Boy, don't you?
Kathy. It's very nice. You did a great job. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I thought you did a really nice job.
Mm-hmm.
You went through everything with us. You've gone through. You patiently went through all of my questions. So thank you. So if anybody out there happens to have a Class B RV and you would like Wade or Ann, or you would like Wade or I to interview you and get a quick tour and be on our How We Van channel, we would love to do it. So if you happen to be out in California, or we travel around, so drop us an email at wadeandann@howwevan.com. And if you've liked this video, please don't hesitate to give us a thumbs up. And Kathy deserves as many thumbs up as she can get. So please do that for us. And if you haven't already, we do love it when you subscribe. I do like to watch those numbers tick up. And it does actually help us and encourage us to continue doing videos. And especially if you want to see more van grade videos. Thank you so much for watching. This is How We Van. Safe travels.